Hello everyone, February the 4th, 2022. It's so exciting what's going on and moving so fast things are. It's just really unbelievable. Yeah, I think we never had that in history, that information was flowing that fast. It really feels time is speeding up. So yeah, today was a big day. Naturally, in many ways, Mercury went direct earlier today. Today is also a powerful day in the Mayan calendar. We are getting to that in a minute. And today, GoFundMe declined to give the money to the truckers. And well, already we have a different solution in place. Go give send go or something like that. That's the new platform to be used. Let me just see. Give send go, right? That's the new platform. So this was just a press release on that site, and this new funding place, they are so overwhelmed. It's yeah, one has to be patient. It gives error messages over and again. I had to try about 10 times to get through finally to make a donation. Naturally, you can ask for your money back from GoFundMe, which I guess we should all do. It's just not right that they are bowing to that political pressure. Anyway, that's just the beginning here. I'm so proud to be Canadian at this time in history. Finally, it seems I am in the right place here. So let's look at the Mayan calendar for a moment, which is in an amazing resonance with our present history events. On September 1st, we entered a new 260-day sequence. The 260 days are grouped in 5 times 52, which are the 5 castles. Since December 14, we have been in the red, in the blue western castle, right? Yes, to say it right, that's the castle of transformation. And you can go back through my archive on YouTube and you will find that one. I said this would be a very powerful time of transformation, in for sure that things would be in a very different place when we were out of that spell. And naturally, we just came out of that by actually yesterday was the last day of this 52-day cycle, which was 13. Keep the cosmic warrior. And we have, as of today, entered the yellow southern castle, which is the 4th 52-day sequence, which is about the expansion of light after the 52 days of transformation, of things really being redirected and reconstructed from ground up. This has been certainly incredibly intense. We have been everybody has felt that, most particularly the core column, which was from December 30th into January 18th, and the last stretch here of galactic activation portals, that was between January 24 and January 31st, or actually February the 2nd. Yes, February the 2nd, February the 3rd, February the 4th. Today, 1 Kaban. Kaban is the head of the 13 days of dreaming a new reality into form. This is the time of envisioning and of putting out the intentions of giving birth to that new idea, that new concept. And we are totally on track here. Things are happening. This is a powerful stretch, these 13 days, which, and then overall those 52 days, which Kaban, the 13 days of Kaban, are just the first part of. These 52 days take us into the end of March, March 27, when we then will get into the final castle, the green central castle of integration. So expect between now and pretty much the end of March this to gain momentum, expand this whole movement. There will not be an immediate resolution or solution, or it will be amping up on many levels. April then will really be the breakthrough month. This will be changing the world upside down. Naturally, still the first stage of that big shift, which we will see in 2022, which has been predicted on so many levels. So just thought you might like that. So let's get into astrology now. And this is the Canadian chart. I thought it was really worth to look at this chart for a minute. When I decided to come to Canada many years ago, it's now close to 30 years ago, I was aware of this birth chart and I said, this is my country. Uranus, Sun, here conjunction at the 4th house cusp, very innovative in spirit, ready to go for experiments, for new ways of living, with the Aries rising here, pioneer country for sure. Interesting was that on January 29th, Venus turned direct on midheaven here of that Canadian chart at 11:04 Capricorn, after having gone backwards for 6 weeks or so since December 19. That time of really going deep within us, collectively, individually, and recalibrating our way of feeling, of handling emotions. Venus. It was interesting to see that with Venus changing direction here right on the chart's midheaven, this proved to be the day when, which was the day when all the big trucks, machinery arrived in Ottawa, which is now a week ago, and so this started. This was really not really started. It was the first big highlight of this present 22 freedom movement, which, as we all know, has rippled out all over the globe very beautifully. So I just thought it was interesting that this happened right at the 10th house cusp of this Canadian chart, which I have rectified many years ago. It proves to be pretty accurate. So as a general rule, when a planet turns stationary, particularly a personal planet, Mars, Venus, Mercury, on one of the major angles of your chart, that means it's super important. It will have a deep impact, so you can watch out for that. So interesting also, Jupiter in the Canadian chart here is at 7 degrees 30 minutes. It just so happened that Jupiter had exactly that position again yesterday, actually 2 days ago now, 3 days ago it is. I thought I do calculate this return chart. So this is a Jupiter return where Jupiter again was at the same location, which happens roughly every 12 years. Very unusual that this would occur here also right around this historic time, with the moon and Jupiter here at the bottom of the chart, at the source point. Moon and Jupiter, the happy people who are standing together for freedom. The moon in Aquarius, just coming out of the new moon, of the Chinese New Year new moon, which was the new beginning of this Chinese year, and the Chinese were very knowledgeable about the energies in a bigger way. It's a whole new system, in that sense a whole different system I should say, versus Western astrology, as they give every year a different frequency. You probably are familiar with it. So the tiger is very revolutionary, resonates with Aquarius, resonates with the sign Aries too, of pioneering, new beginnings, and all kinds of new ways of experiencing life. Very outspoken, can be fierce. So that's the energy of the year, and it's the element water, which is ruling all years which are ending with a 2 and a 3. So water is naturally resonating with emotions again, with us feeling all connected, responsible for each other. So water will help to bring this collective unit. We are even closer together. Really beautiful, that moon Jupiter. So I thought I start you off with this. Now I will go back a little bit, just because it is such an amazing sequence of events we had over the last 10 or 15 days with Arrokoth, that small orbiter, which is the farthest we have so far visited. It's about 44 billion miles away from the sun, and it has been closely inspected by the New Horizons space probe on January the 1st, 2019, which was giving us an idea of the pristine and untouched reality far out there in the cold Kuiper belt, as it was 4.6 billion years ago when this solar system was coming into existence, according to what scientists believe at this point. And Arrokoth is all about, as we came to know, seeing the bigger picture, understanding the fundamental concepts of reality, putting all the pieces of the puzzles together. On that day, on the 25th of January, Arrokoth crossed 20 degrees 45 Capricorn. I did make a video on that if you want to go back and get the full insight into this. I just thought I quickly bring that one back, because this was the turning point with Sedna and the lunar node here at the top of the chart, really shedding a strong flashlight on that whole theme of restrictions and limitations and unlawful behavior of governments together with Ceres, naturally making this a very important talking point, bringing it out into the public field. This was the same chart for Ottawa. I thought this was interesting as the natal Sun-Uranus conjunction of the Canadian nation. Let's just go back here. That is where it is, at this spot. You see, 8 degrees 51 the Sun. So it makes sense that Canada would be picking up on that energy the strongest. And also with Nessus here at the top of the chart, Nessus, all which is wrong, the pathological behaviors, super exposed. Orcus, the one which is able to transmute these energies. This is the same chart in heliocentric geometry, and here Jupiter is exactly at midheaven. I like the heliocentric often as a backdrop to see where the core of the energy is coming in. Jupiter naturally resonates with freedom and with the idea of expansion and of sovereignty, of everyone having that choice to live life as they wish. So this is really nice that this plays out that way, that this chart activated Jupiter here so strongly. Then the next one, I quickly wanted to remind you of the year of the Tiger, when it started with the new moon on the February the 1st. This is the global chart again, with Mars here rising, Uranus at the 4th house cusp. It's that tremor shaking everything through back to where it should be, back to nature, nature's principles, and Mars here at the ascendant, that initiative to put our foot down as a collective and take back our world, here together with Pholus and Quaoar, who will have their first of 23 exact conjunctions on February the 22nd, and we will get back to that. Pholus, that's the energy which always is activated when, after a long preparation and hesitation, we finally have the courage to go to where we were hesitant to. Quaoar, a creation force, also an energy which at first throws us some difficulty in our way, but then in the bigger turnout of things, this hindrance, this obstacle turns out to be a blessing in disguise. That's kind of the energies of these two smaller planets. Pholus, a Centaur planet. Quaoar is a Kuiper belt object. The same chart for Ottawa. I found that again interesting to see how Uranus is now here at the 7th house cusp. Just wanted to quickly roll back here to show you. In the global chart, Uranus at the source point. It's that energy of shaking things into the right place, back into where nature wants things to be. And this is in Ottawa, in capital of Canada, at the 7th house cusp. I like this a lot. It's kind of, that's where it will express, the 7th house being the meeting point where we converge, where people come together and express themselves. The stage of life, so to say, with Uranus in the 7th house, things get colorful, interesting, wild, and I guess that's exactly what is happening. The whole world is looking at Canada, at least all the alternative media, as naturally the big corporations are still blindsiding the whole thing. Let's see how long they can do that, or play it down, or do their usual misrepresentation. Okay, now, as I said earlier today, February the 4th, Mercury did change direction again. After having gone backward since early January, Mercury turned to direct motion at 24 degrees Capricorn, here in a close conjunction with the part of fortune and Pluto, and also Juno is here. Again, this is the global chart to start with. First of all, it's a square to Aries. Aries, who is all about exposing lies and taking on that difficult task to go through temporary conflict, to get to the truth and get to what things should be. A true force of truth, of freedom too, in that sense. So Mercury here actually in hexagram 61 as well. Hexagram 61 is covering the territory 2045 Capricorn till 26, 22, 30. Inner truth, where we hone in on what really matters. Seeing the essence within any subject. That conjunction with Pluto is empowering, challenging our mind in a big way. It pushes us to turn all stones over, look behind every corner. And Juno, naturally, that's the teamwork, where we stand together, closing shoulders. Now in Aquarius. Aquarius, Juno, that is beautiful, that is resonating with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction of December 2020, which initiated that whole 20-year renewal of how we live together, of how societies develop, our socio and economic development being redirected in a new way. So this is the global chart here, and if we look at the same moment for Canada's capital, the axis here 24 degrees Libra and Aries, with Eris, E-R-I-S, for those who are new to this planet. exactly at the 7th house cusp. Again, the public discourse is here strongly accentuated, highlighted, with that square from Mercury here, perfect T-square to these two angles, those two suspension points, the horizon in that sense, with Pluto and Juno exactly at the bottom of that chart, focusing in on what I just explained before in the global chart, that theme of coming together and putting our minds at work in terms of reformation and redesigning what reality should be like. Interesting also that the moment when Mercury turned direct, we have the moon here between Neptune and Pallas. That Neptune Pallas conjunction, which was happening in 2021 twice and early 2022 for the third time, which is all about exposing lies and seeing through deception, with the moon here in the center. This definitely brings a lot of public attention to that happening still, how we are blinded and treated for fools, and anyway, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The moon here, this is definitely highlighted. Also the square to the black moon, telling us that it's time to focus on problems, on what's gone wrong. When the black moon is involved, it's always a push to face shadows and face difficulties, face what's not right. The black moon, for those who are new to this point, is where the moon is farthest away from Earth. And as the moon relates to emotions, that is kind of the deepest trench in the ocean, where all the unwanted, all the undesired and pushed away and ignored topics are accumulating. So when the black moon here is so strongly accentuated here at the 9th house cusp, and Pianor, that is the strong man, that is the rebel, that is represented by all these many people who are now finding their voice and speaking out. And then there's Aspulus. Aspulus is another centaur like Pianor 2. Centaur meaning its orbit crosses anywhere between Saturn and Neptune. They move in that field, and they have elongated orbits, meaning when they're closest to the sun, they can come as close as Jupiter, and when they're farther away, then they can go out as far as Neptune. So they kind of are the connecting links between those big planets, weave these threads between those energies. Aspulus is the seer. Aspulus is very interested in mysteries, difficult objects and tasks, and Aspulus has kind of that flair of Sherlock Holmes, of wanting to uncover difficult and dark matters. It's kind of almost an obsession with these things. The black moon closing in on Aspulus within roughly the next 20 days, that will be around the 22nd of February. So this should indicate that a lot of dark and difficult stuff is being pushed into the public arena over the next few weeks. Naturally, it is already happening, and it will be very much accelerating over the next 2 weeks. Right on the heels of that Mercury turning direct, we had a Sun-Saturn conjunction this afternoon. Interesting also, the Sun-Saturn brings some seriousness to this Mercury reboot. Some deep thoughts are processed. It's about serious matters, naturally. We are not surprised by that. The Aries moon here by that time approaching Chiron, and Chiron actually here in this chart, which is cast for Ottawa again, Chiron is here at the T-square point above the ascendant and the descendant, and here is Maki Maki. Maki Maki is very courageous in its approach. It is about creating something new, manifesting it, and it has the courage to almost do the impossible. So Maki Maki together with Chiron here, that has been a theme going on already for the last year. They had multiple oppositions. Also Venus-Mars here. Venus-Mars is closing in on one another. This time actually it's Mars which is approaching towards Venus. Venus is still very slow as it just comes out of this 6-week retrograde period, so Mars will actually pass Venus on the 16th, and that is, I guess, one of the next charts I have here lined up for you. I don't think it's the next one, but we will get there in a minute. So this is the next one I have here for you, which is when the Sun crosses the 1852-30 mark, which is the territory of Hexagram 49. For those who know the I Ching, this is the Hexagram Revolution. When things are reformatted, when the sequence is changed, when what is more important comes to the forefront, and it's kind of a turning it over. It's when the idea here is that through the seasons, through the change of seasons, the animal's fur is changing colors. So it's an adaptation to the natural cycles between 1852-30 and 24-30. That will be between February the 7th and February the 12th roughly. That is the time when we will see some of that energy being activated, shifts, changes in a bigger way. And pretty much on that on the same day, just hours later, you see here the moon is actually already close to Uranus, which is interesting in itself, as the sun is in Aquarius, coming into this hexagram, which most of all segments of Aquarius resonates with Uranus. That that signature of revolution. And here we have the moon conjunct Uranus, and then a few hours later is the conjunction perfect. And I thought I run this chart for Ottawa, and no surprise, Chiron here at midheaven. So yeah, this whole what has been now kicked off, this movement, this freedom movement, Freedom 2022, this is just about to start gaining momentum in unprecedented ways. I mean, it's we have heard beautiful stories for those of you who have been tuned in, like many of these firefighters and paramedics who have been laid off in Toronto and Ottawa and these areas. They have now come together and they have created a service in that sense to help these truckers, to serve food to them, to bring them fuel, to provide them with all the things necessary. It's wonderful. It's really heartwarming to see how all people have come together in that helping out, helping each other, and helping the cause, and strengthening one another, encouraging one another. Very, very beautiful. And again, this moon Uranus, I mean, it's just a moment in time when the moon and Uranus are exact in the same place, but each time two planets make an exact aspect, it is a nodal moment where the seed is planted in some way for those two energies, how they will express over time. Again, Pluto here strongly placed also. Then on the 16th, yeah, that will be the second of 3 Venus-Mars conjunctions. First of all, again, I ran this chart for Ottawa, and you see Venus and Mars here conjunct exactly at the midheaven in Ottawa. You can't make this stuff up. It really seems like this was all already in the books, in the celestial archives, ready to be played, ready to be manifested. So nothing happens by accident. Everything is cosmic synchronicities. That's the beauty of astrology. It's really quite amazing. I'm over and again stunned by discoveries of that sort. So this, as I say, is the second of 3 Venus-Mars conjunctions. Now for the next 2-3 weeks, Mars will slightly get away from Venus, still moving faster, and then Venus is gaining traction and then catching up on Mars again and that 0 degrees Aquarius. They will meet again on March the 6th in their third conjunction, the final one for quite a long time, probably 2 years or more, probably a little less than that, but for many months to come. So that third conjunction at 0 degrees Aquarius, that stood out for me already months ago as a big marker in early Aquarius, really standing for a birth of sorts, a birth of Aquarian energies. And Aquarius, again, representing a new way of living together, of expressing ourselves as human beings in relations. So by early March, yes, you can expect we have come already long ways from where we are now. This is now gaining enormous traction over the next few weeks. In so many other countries, they have organized similar freedom convoys. And already, I guess, 10 countries worldwide have dropped all their mandates. They see what's coming. They try to be ahead of the crowd and maybe be left alone, that nobody would come and go back and on all their wrongdoings. I guess that's the idea there. That's why they're turning around. They think they can avoid that, but I don't think that will be the case. Eventually, all these people who have done wrong will be called for justice. Nuremberg 2 will definitely be on the schedule coming up, probably starting midsummer, early fall, and all these people who are still on the wrong side of history will have to face their crimes and their misdoings. So yeah, the second Mars-Venus conjunction here, exactly culminating over Ottawa, Canada's capital, meaning history is being made here. We are rewriting the code of conduct, how we treat each other, and governments will be definitely called and heads will roll. That is certain. Mercury again very powerfully placed here in the first degree of Aquarius, T-squaring the ascendant and the descendant. It's just shy of full moon when that happens. You see, that will be the sixth full moon resonating with the galactic center at 27 degrees 09 Sagittarius. The first one we had was at 27 degrees something Virgo on September the 20th, 2021. And since every month the full moon was around the 27th degree in resonance with the galactic center, there are two more to come till April 16. I said it before, this is telling us this is the core period of transformation, of realigning to galactic principles, to higher dimensional realities, to transcend all these lower frequency 3D concepts of coercion and tyranny, and to open our windows to a much higher, much freer world. So we are in the middle of that, approaching full moon 6 of 8 by February the 16th. And here we have the full moon chart. I thought I show you this one too for Ottawa. The black moon, Aspolus Bienor, which we just talked before. So it shows that this is very much the theme of what will come in the next 4 weeks here for Canada. To get to the bottom of that, like Sherlock Holmes, honing in on those who have committed the crimes. Neptune here high up, interesting. Neptune gets exposed in that sense. One could say, well, there's definitely other interpretations here possible too, but that's one of them. Another one would be that confusion still is a theme here in that perfect T-square to the ascendant, that the descendant, that many people still are caught in the middle of confusion here. Naturally, it can't go away that fast. We have to be very patient and helping each other to overcome all that MK Ultra mind control which has been played at mass scale through the black boxes and all the other methods of programming people. I have a couple more charts here, or at least one more here to finish here my session, which is the Pholus-Quaoar conjunction, the first of 23. And there is this amazing resonance I pointed out earlier already with the Mercury station of today. That was actually in our time zones. It was yesterday night, 11:13 p.m. Eastern time, when Mercury changed back to forward direction. And as you see, this is pretty much in exact resonance with that Pholus-Quaoar conjunction. So the energy shift of yesterday with Mercury now moving forward again, which means we have our full mental powers back to regroup, to make clear and focused decisions. This is the precursor to this Pholus-Quaoar conjunction on the 21st of February, again in our time zone here in Canada, 10:02 p.m. that will be. Again, we have the 24 degrees Libra rising, 24 Aries at the 7th house cusp, and again you see the perfect resonance with the Canadian chart. It's just uncanny how these things play out. The Moon Uranus opposition, another one to which is not accidental, it's again cosmic synchronicity, showing that yes, Uranus is definitely strongly involved, and again that is resonating back to this chart here, which I showed you earlier. No, it's not this one here. When Arrokoth entered that inner truth, when there was perfect resonance between seeing the big picture and focusing in on the essential. And Arrokoth will be in that hexagram for many months to come. Arrokoth is very slow, takes about 300 years to once move around the zodiac, so it will be in that area at least for a few years, naturally coming in and out. But for that first section, but I guess it's in that hexagram till fall of 2022, before turning retrograde and going back and dipping in the previous hexagram again. But you see, it's all interconnected. I keep illustrating that with the many charts I show. I know it's a little bit complex and maybe confusing for if you're not yet that much of an adept in astrology. But just be patient. If you don't understand everything, that doesn't matter. It's a learning curve, and I invite you to go back to my archive and listen to older ones. They are not really outdated because these are all initial moments. I guess I have to drink a sip here. Losing my voice here, speaking too much. Anyway, but Pholus-Quaoar again, that is that moment of truth, of embracing a difficult curveball in a way, and accepting that things will at first get a little more difficult, but it will pay out in big ways. Venus, Mars, you see they are here moving in tandem. They're very, very close to one another. As I say, any time between the 16th of February till March 6th, they are moving here in a very narrow embrace till Venus is taking over again and leading the way, as then will be the case on the 6th of March at 0 degrees Aquarius. I leave it for now here, and I wish you a wonderful night and see you again soon. Love you all. Bye bye. And give it a like or subscribe. Thank you.